Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anime Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Lance, here with my other host, Matt. And today we got a special guest, Alec. We got him back from the other side of the country.
Hey, glad to be back.
Always great to have you here. Every episode, we like to open up with our adult drinks of choice. Today, I'm going to be drinking some Buchanan Select blended Scotch whiskey. This one's 15 years, and I'm chasing that back with a Carry the G Cream Ale. This is a Wisconsin beer. It's a Packer beer. It's alcohol and milk. No, I'm kidding. It's
mixed with a little bit of cheese.
No, it's just a creamy ale. It's really good. I like it. What about you, Matt? What are you drinking?
I am also drinking Carry the G. I had one of these at Badger State and was like, ooh, that's pretty good. So
Oh, that's where you tried it?
yeah.
Okay.
Been searching around, found some on sale at Hy-Vee, so I picked up a few 4-packs.
Yeah, 4-packs. They're a little bit more special.
They are tall boys, so at least you got 16 ounces instead of 12. But then I'm also drinking a Featherbone bourbon whiskey, that special select that I've had for almost a year now.
Yeah, just been slowly nipping away at that one.
Yeah, it's well, when it's $100 a bottle, I'm not just gonna be chugging that down like crazy.
Right.
What about you, Alec?
I am drinking some Driftless Glen, a single barrel straight bourbon whiskey. Absolutely love this stuff. It's 121 proof, but not to shy away from. The taste is amazing.
Oh, yeah. And we all know Driftless Glen really well in this studio because we get it often enough ourselves.
It's also kind of hard to get super high alcohol contents to taste good.
That's very true. Because usually then it just starts tasting like pure alcohol, but Driftless Glen does a good job on keeping that flavor there.
Yep, yeah, I would definitely agree with that one.
So, Matt, you want to give us a little synopsis on what we're going to be covering today?
Yes, and because I always seem to come unprepared, like Lance with his Japanese word of the day, I am just going to kind of spring one off for a synopsis. So, Mashle is the 12-episode anime, and basically think of Harry Potter, but anime. And Mashle can't do magic, which actually makes it completely hilarious. But the entire show revolves around Mashle going to the academy, which looks exactly like Hogwarts, and attempting to kind of ingrace himself in around everybody who can do magic without letting everybody know he cannot do magic. His goal is to become a divine visionary so he can attempt to change some of the rules to allow for essentially him to live in a society with his grandfather and not be an outcast. And that's basically what this show is about, in a very hilarious and a lot of awesome references.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is a satire, and they do such a great job with everything related to when they're trying to pull shit from Harry Potter.
Yes, and Lance is not our Harry Potter expert, so even he can get some of our references. They do a good job.
Oh yeah.
We'll fill you in, Lance. It's a great culture, and this is a great show to kind of combine the love of anime and the love of Harry Potter into one just absolutely hilarious satire, just like you said.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And before we get too far, Lance, you want to give us that Lance's lesson?
Today's Lance's Lessons is going to be the Japanese word for muscle, and that is suji. Suji is spelled S-U-J-I, and suji is clearly relatable to this season because our main boy is all muscles and no magic, and that's kind of where all the satire comes from, is him just using his muscles and his body just in general. So suji definitely fits for today's episode.
Remember, his power is power. So
I love how he tries to cover up the fact that he can't do magic by like saying the move that he's doing, but adding magic at the end, like hamstring magic, and then like
exactly.
bursting off into a sprint.
Yeah, I laughed so hard every single time he would say stuff like that.
My bicep magic, and everyone's like, I've never heard of this magic before.
Yeah, right?
and then at the end where they're just like, oh, playing hard to get, not telling me your magic.
And he's like, yeah, totally. It's like go on.
I was just gonna say, I love his this deadpan face at 100% of the time. Like, he's so like this kind of that trope of being emotionless, but he does it so perfectly and he pulls it off every single time.
He reminded me a lot of One Punch Man. Like, if you combined One Punch Man and Harry Potter into one anime, you get Mashle. And especially like him as a character, just totally, I don't even want to say aloof, just a dimwit. He doesn't really understand anything going on, but yet he's the most powerful in the room because the dude can lift like 800 pounds every quarter of a second.
Yeah, right.
Can just stomp into the ground and change the entire topography of the area.
Love it.
One of my favorite parts of this, especially in the early, well, it was really the first 2 episodes. They didn't really do it afterwards, but every time Mash was working out, he was going like fast forward pace with his benching and anything that he was lifting with the bar, and it was like hoof, 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 hoof. Like that sound that he made always got me every single time.
And then
But the animals that are in the scene, they're all like,
Yeah, right. They're all scared.
they're literally just like total like bobo reactions.
yeah, it was just absolutely funny. And I typically don't like this kind of main character, but this one I couldn't get enough of it.
Well, the humor was great. I think it could touch on everybody.
Yeah, this show was so simple, and that's why it was kind of just perfect.
It knew what it was.
Yeah, so let's just jump into some typical talk. Did you guys come away with a favorite character in this? There's quite a few characters, so did anybody jump out at you? Alec, you want to start?
I really like the just the flaming redhead, Don. What is his name? Don Burrito. Dot Barrett. Dot Barrett. And Dot, I thought he was just absolutely hilarious. Just like his jealousy rages would just send him in just the most hilarious like little what do you call them, soliloquies, where he's just kind of just rambling on forever. And I'm like, dude, this guy's hilarious. I got so much humor from him. But he does come through, and he's really strong. He explodes everything, but he's just absurd in his thinking ways, I guess.
Yep.
Well, he's the main character that isn't the main character.
He is the most main side character I've ever seen. Loved him.
What about you, Matt? Who are you pulling from this?
I wanted it to be Lantz, but then his sister thing just was, I couldn't do it.
The sister.
Agreed.
Yes, it was just couldn't do it. I did love his magic though. I gotta go with Mash, to be completely honest. He is just way too funny, and he is, I mean, obviously the main character. So,
The real main character.
yes, the real main character. Having cream puff, like the cream puff episode, was so funny. I've watched that a few times. It was so funny. And then at the end where he's talking about, or he's bringing the cream puffs and orange juice, and then sneezes and just chucks all the cream puffs at this mysterious bad guy.
Yep.
He was just so funny.
Can you scoop those up? We're still gonna eat those, and everyone else is like, no, we're not.
Yeah, right. It's so gross.
Well, he does keep cream puffs in his pockets, so
Yeah, and even though he keeps them in his pockets, he still has his roommate Finn. He still eats them regardless. Like in the first couple episodes, he's like, "Did you pull that out of your pocket?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll take one." Like,
they're warm, just out of the oven, but in his pocket. It's okay.
yeah, right. It's a little gross.
Lance, what about you? Did you have a favorite character?
Yeah, this one's gonna be hard now because you guys definitely chose the 2 of the really most fun ones. Dot was amazing. He had like the most build for his magical powers, and I'm really pulling that little cross that appears on his forehead because that was really the biggest like shonen pull out of him and kind of the series in general. Because I like that. Mash, it's freaking hilarious every single time. He's so simple and so amazing. So let's see. I don't want to say Tom, the bamboo guy, because he's kind of super annoying at that sometimes. But I appreciate his character. So I'm gonna go with the next one who I'd be most interested in, and that's gonna be Rain. Rain Ames, who is Finn's brother, who is the visionary, the latest visionary.
Who throws swords?
Yeah,
He's badass.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely super interesting, and it's almost like he was trying to hunt that cell wall guy, the blonde-haired guy at the very end, who's definitely gonna be, I don't know, the main source of the, I'm gonna assume, season 2's deal. Let's see, they were called, I wrote in my notes, Innocent Zero.
Yes.
So that's the crew that Cell is coming from. So can't wait to see that in season 2. We'll talk about that one later, but we can continue on character talk.
I was gonna say, is that the same group of people that escaped from prison?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check on that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you caught that too, because on my first watch through, they were throwing so much information at you, and then when like the headmaster of the school goes and meets with that other old guy, and they're like, yeah, there's been a prison outbreak, like they make it seem kind of important, but it's just that one scene, and they never touch on it again, really. And then my second watch, I was like, oh, that's right. There was a prison outbreak. And then he makes comments on it, the group that got out, and made me pay attention to, that phrase a little bit better. Innocent zero.
So I don't think it was Cell War that was the one that was the prison escapee. I think it was like Jean-Pierre, the cannibal guy. I think it's...
Oh, you think it was like just him, or...
No, so there were 6 of them. They make mention of it, but I think that the other Innocent Zero members, like the ones that we're going to see more prominently, weren't the criminals that escaped. I think it's going to be some like still Innocent Zero, but low-level ones, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Just because I'm going to pull some Harry Potter references a little bit and go with that it's not going to be like the main Death Eaters, but kind of the side Death Eaters besides Bellatrix, who is the one that did get imprisoned, but like just kind of pulling some of that reference without actually pulling all of that reference.
Okay. I know we're getting really far into talk right now, and you're pulling some other information out. Do you have some Matt's Manga mentions that we'd like to slip in here before we ruin anything potentially?
Yeah, let's definitely get into some Matt's Manga mentions. NANI?! All right. So I will say the manga mentions is going to be really short. There was no huge differences. Like nothing was really left out. Everything was elongated, but other than that, nothing. Some of the conversations were slightly longer. Basically every fight was longer. But other than that, it was pretty much on par. A 1-for-1 copy. There was a few changes, but for anybody who wants to start from where season 2 is going to start on chapter 39. You'll see the very ending of season 1, and then it'll continue into what I assume will be season 2. One thing that is different is Mash named every single one of his body parts. Like every single one of his muscles has a name.
He did go through every single one?
Yes.
'Cause I know there was like 5 or 6 that he named off.
Yeah.
And I know
he has a... Yeah.
Yeah, it was like his pecs, his bicep, everything.
Right, and then we had Finn talking to himself, and like his voice was overpowering Mashle's naming, so it's not like we can hear everything, but we got the idea.
Yeah, so you do actually see him naming all of his muscles. Funny, I'm not going to write it down because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I remember Kevin was one of them. Kevin was one of the pecs, I think. I think that was the very first pec he named.
Yep.
Another
difference
is so
is
funny.
It really was. So then something else was you don't see Dot until basically his monologue where he's the main character at the camping scene. That's the first time you see Dot. Slightly different, not a big deal. You see him the previous episode for like 5-10 seconds, and then you see him again the next episode. Not really a big deal. You do see that the letter that Rain was looking over, you see that it was written by the headmaster. In the anime, I think it's just written out, but they don't have his name. So you just get a name of who wrote it. You find out that Rain actually attacked Mash because you see like this aura of pressure that Mash is producing.
Yeah, he made a comment on that.
Yeah.
Like he said that there's an aura, but it's not a magic aura.
Yes.
So I want to save that for a conversation for us three.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything to add.
Nope. Super Saiyan 2 Mash was just standing there, and this just ginormous aura of something was emitting around him.
Okay.
Something cool you get to see in the manga, not necessarily important in the anime. Really, I don't know if I just missed it, but when Abel was controlling Finn, he told Mash he was not allowed to defend himself or he would kill Finn. In the anime, I think it was just Mash wasn't defending himself.
Which one was Abel?
Abel was the
He's the
puppeteer.
Oh, the guy with the purple tips.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the tips. Yeah, I liked him a lot, actually.
Yeah, he was a good bad guy. So then,
good bad guy.
Like I said, I don't know if I missed it. It might have been just a very quiet command to Mash. I don't know. But yes, so that's why Mash was not defending himself against Finn. And then the last thing is... they don't make a big moment of Mash giving the handkerchief to Abyss. There's just like this one little tiny slide or panel of Mash talking to Abyss and Abel, and then it's the fight against Cell War. So like they don't go into this long monologue. It's just like a tiny
Okay, so
half-inch panel.
the anime totally elaborated
Yes.
on take this healing thing, and then
Yep.
we can share a cream puff later.
Yeah.
None of that.
Like,
Okay.
so as I was reading, I read that Abel was giving the handkerchief back, and I'm like, wait, did I miss this? Like, did I skip a page somewhere? So I'm scrolling up I'm trying to find the chapter, and I'm reading, and then I see this like little half-inch panel of Mash, and it's not even well drawn. Like, it's literally just almost like, oh yeah, I should probably add this. Here it is, and then here's your fight. Like, it was just kind of funny that it's in there, but you'd easily miss it.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's all I found. That's it.
That's funny. That's kind of funny you're saying that at the end, because I kind of had this feeling that, like, I know this is satire, and it makes me think that the creator, and I just pulled him up, I think his name is Hajime Komodo, and I think it kind of feels like he didn't think that this was going to actually take off. He just wanted to screw around and make something. And then he threw all of his best stuff in the beginning of the series, and now he has to somehow turn this into something that can last long. So I wanted to say, like, his dad and that police officer in the beginning, like, they don't have much of an appearance at all, and they kind of just give him like a pity scene, like they're drinking.
Oh
tea
yeah,
in
that's
this-
not in the manga at all.
that's
Like,
not in there either?
they're not in the manga, but in the
Wait,
beginning.
really?
I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's
When they were
I
like
forgot to write that
trees.
Okay, so that pity scene was definitely there for them in the anime. But
Yes.
yeah, it just made me think, like, he kind of forgot, like, the root of all this stuff. Like, Mash is doing this because that police officer wants him to get to be a visionary, so that the police officer can get all the money and the attention off of that. Like, he wants to reap the rewards
Yes.
and that kind of thing. So, like, so much is going on, and they're supposed to be helping Mash through school, and they're not doing anything.
Well, how can they help him though?
I know that's gonna be, like, super hard, but, like, that was the original idea.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
But even though it was kind of funny in the very beginning, where they're fake hiding behind two little tree branches, acting like they're blending in.
They're not even trying.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So yeah, that was one thought that crossed my mind, was like, I wonder if he just bit off more than he can chew, and now he has to turn this into shonen material and, like, forget the beginning portions.
No, I think that's part of I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like, it would completely go on par with the rest of the series, where it's just like,
Makes
oh
sense,
yeah,
yeah.
these people are here. That's right.
Okay.
But yeah, Alec, because Lance knows nothing about Harry Potter.
Bring it on.
Do you have a favorite Harry Potter reference?
I would say probably the thing that pulled me most in the show, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. For anyone listening, I've been my whole entire life, loved it, absolutely loved it, just stuck to it my whole life. When they brought in the Quidditch scene, my heart just like exploded. It was like, all right, I'm fully set into this show. It could be absolute crap from here on out, but they brought Quidditch into this. I absolutely lost my mind. That was like one of my favorite parts of Harry Potter. I love that Quidditch got brought into real life. It was played at my college, and like the fact that now it's in this anime, I'm like, yes, let's go. Like, that was my favorite Harry Potter reference, when they brought in Quidditch. And especially the character Tom, and like how he's basically the exact opposite of the Harry Potter version of the prefect. I forget his name.
You're not talking about Percy, are you?
No, not Percy. That's
Oh, you're thinking of the goalie.
yeah. No, I thought he was a beater.
No, and that's the brothers. So the brothers are beaters.
Mhm.
Fred and George are beaters, and then you've got Oliver Wood.
Yeah, Oliver Wood. So this guy's essentially the exact opposite of Oliver Wood. Like, he's just super just jock, but like the annoying kind of jock, and just bamboo to everything. Like, that's like his catchphrase. But like, no thought is put in. He's just a reckless jock. And I just kind of I thought he was absolutely hilarious as like the bring in of Quidditch.
Okay.
What about you?
So Quidditch is the only. Okay, so I don't know as much Harry Potter as you two do, but I have seen like the first two movies. So Quidditch is definitely the number one thing that I pulled. So I can definitely agree with you on that one. That the Quidditch game thing was definitely fun to watch. But I have a fun little story that I'd like to share about Quidditch. And there was this guy that I used to work with.
Okay.
And he was a huge Harry Potter fan.
Okay.
And he decided that him and a couple other friends were going to try to emulate Quidditch, but on bicycles. And
Gross.
yeah. And he was trying to describe it to me and what he wanted to do. And he wanted to take like really long broomsticks. This was basically going to be jousting. That's all this was gonna be. Like, he
This
wanted
sounds
to just
terrible.
Yeah, and he wanted to have that, and then I don't know exactly what ball he was gonna use as what's the little fly called?
You think about the snitch?
Oh, the snitch.
That's what it was. And he didn't lay everything out to me, but when he started mentioning like a broomstick with a bicycle, and I immediately thought that we're just gonna start stabbing each other, and I want nothing to do with this game. I value my life, but. He tried very hard and multiple times to try to get me to do this game with him. Like, I'm just not a Harry Potter fan. How about that? No, it was just crazy. So yeah, that's my story for some random ass Quidditch game that someone tried to make.
Bicycle jousting Quidditch does not sound like a fun time.
That's how I took it.
Okay,
Matt,
so
what was your favorite Harry Potter reference here?
my favorite Potter reference was the mandrakes.
Oh my gosh, that scene was hilarious.
All right, explain that one to a non-Harry Potter nerd.
Okay, for anybody to remember, the mandrakes are these vegetables.
Okay.
Well, in the Harry Potter universe, there's still plants that do scream, so that's kind of the funny reference. And it's just, that whole scene was so funny. That was probably one of my favorite episodes, was the cream puff one, because Mash is making this potion perfectly, and then it turns into a cream puff.
I loved it. Oh, and he had them redo it too.
That was one of those perfect things. Like, that scene is so goddamn childish. In any other anime, I would have been so annoyed. But for this one, Mashle, they pulled it off so well. I actually laughed. So I appreciated that a lot.
I love how the mandrake kept like quadrupling in size.
Yeah, that was so funny.
And then he just slaps it, and it's
Just dead.
So, but then in Harry Potter, they replant them, and then they kind of go back to sleep. So it was a close enough reference where you could get it, because they did use the mandrakes in the second movie for the potion to unpetrify the children and the ghost. Not the ghost. I don't know how they got the ghost alive, but they got the ghost alive.
They unpetrified the ghost. Yeah, that was weird.
Well, he was
I remember
dead.
that happening in the book. Well, that's why he was petrified, because he couldn't die again.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, I don't remember how they revived the ghost, but yes. So it was. Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I love how they like.
I'm distracting you guys because I just switched to Driftless Glen, and that is a huge flavor improvement compared to this Buchanan select.
I could go on Driftless Glen forever. That's one of my
God.
favorite distilleries.
Yeah, exactly. This is so tasty.
You'll have to thank your wife for that one, because she was the reason why I got it.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
So yes, that was probably my favorite reference, without getting, like, it was kind of one for one, unlike Quidditch, which was a lot closer, minus the 3 hoops, single ball, which that was hilarious as well. Mash kicking himself and basically acting like a helicopter and floating.
Yep. Oh, he's flying. No, he's just moving his legs really fast.
As a non-hitter nerd, I can throw in one more reference.
Okay.
The unicorn to decide where people go for their dorms.
That was so great.
Okay, so I obviously that one's easy. I saw the first 2 movies, obviously, so I can make that reference. And that unicorn just being kind of funny. And then I don't know why does the hat in the movie or in the books too? Do they read the mind? Like per like they can read every single word?
It just reads like the character and who the person is on the inside, so who you truly are. And in this case, it's more funny because Mash is cream puff.
Yeah.
That's all Mash is.
That's all he's thinking of is cream puff. Lovers of cream puff go to this school. Loved it.
Leap of logic. Oh, I love that reference too.
So wait, you were that guy? Yes. Like, I like how it took him.
Yep, that happened.
And I did find it really funny that he had to like recollect the story for them to be like, oh, that's the guy, not him just making cream puffs all the time. But
yeah.
Oh
I guess what I was trying to get at a second ago was, does the hat in Harry Potter also make like a scene where he has to describe someone else's mind, or was that just this kind of a creative liberty here?
I mean, kind of.
He kind of does that with Harry Potter. He's like, well, you would fit. He's like, interesting. Your mind's telling me this, but your behavior is telling me this, and the hat's like speaking out loud the whole time.
Is it though? Is it?
Yeah.
Or is it just in Harry's head?
Ooh. I think that's for something for the I guess the real Potterheads to debate.
I was gonna say you
I
better
think
say Potterheads.
I think that he was saying it out loud. I think he was saying it's just like I think it's just kind of like softly so that like really only the person that's wearing the hat can hear it, but he was definitely saying it out loud.
But it's in his head, so why would he need to say it softly for him to hear? If only he can hear it.
Magic.
Anime logic.
Anime
Yes.
logic.
Yes.
Doodle-doo.
Okay, so then more Harry Potter questions.
Mhm.
When it came to the characters, I'm just going to kind of talk about them and we can decide who each of the characters are supposed to be as far as a Harry Potter reference.
Okay.
Obvious one is going to be the headmaster.
Wahlberg, was it Bagian or something?
I think it's Bagan.
Bagan? Yeah, definitely Dumbledore. Hardcore.
Minerva, if that doesn't give anything away.
Well, it was like kind of an anagram. Her name is Marvina, which is basically if you take the R in the end and you like mix those, like her Minerva is in her name.
Yes. And then
Well, just to keep our listeners on the same page, Marvina was the teacher girl who was like teaching the lock trick and
Yes,
and stuff like that. So she was the main teacher earlier in the series.
definitely,
Well,
definitely McGonagall.
I opened the lock. No, you didn't.
That was really funny.
Oh man. So to continue, then who did you think Claude was supposed to be?
I thought Claude kind of was a mix of the second year Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher mixed with Snape, if that makes any sense. Like,
Yep.
he was really kind of grandois, and, like, I love his thing where he's like, and here are your desks and paper, and, like, Mashle's just not impressed at all. He's like, you could have just had this all prepared. Like,
Why didn't you just have him out first?
yeah. So I got a lot of the second year Defense Against the Dark Arts, the memory guy. Forget why am I blanking on his name?
It is Professor.
He's in the second and the fifth book.
Yes, he smiles all the time.
Yeah, he steals everyone's art. He steals everyone's idea. It's intellectual property thief for first and foremost.
Well, is it really intellectual property if you're the only person that has the intellects?
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. But yes, it is. It definitely is.
It absolutely is. Yes.
He erases their memory.
So Lockhart. It's Professor
Lockhart. Yes, I thought he
I'm
was like a
looking it up
mixture of
and
Lockhart
then I remembered. Yes.
and Snape, kind of like in his hate for Harry Potter succeeding, like Mashle succeeding, but also like the grandiosity of Lockhart. I think he was like a good mixture of those two characters. What about you?
Yep. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Lance is like, yep, I'm over here.
Yeah, this is gonna be your guys' moment.
I thought as far as like characters, Mash, the dimwit, definitely Harry Potter, does not deserve to be the main character, but is there nonetheless. Just like Harry Potter, he is nothing without his friends. Except Mash he is something without his friends. It's just I don't know what that something is yet. I think he's still figuring that out.
Yeah, I think we'll see in season 2.
Yeah.
Harry is something without his friends, just not as much.
Yeah.
Mash could absolutely do without his friends, but he needs them. So then I'm going to continue. So Dot, what'd you think that was?
I thought for sure that was what's his name? Who's the Irish guy?
Oh, you're thinking of Cormac? Not Cormac. It's
Not Cormac. Different from Cormac. He's the one who blows up everything.
who never actually blows anything up. But yes, that one.
Finnegan? Seamus?
Seamus. Yes, Seamus. That's
Seamus, yeah. Yeah, Dot is definitely Seamus. Just the redhead, just fiery, like literally exploding everything. I got him 100, and like a little bit of humor thrown in. I think people want him to be Ron because he's redhead, but I think that is just completely stereotypical. I think he is Finnegan.
So I am going to disagree. I think he's Ron for the main reason of wanting to be the main character and is not actually the main character. Once the girl's attention, doesn't get it, is the best friend of Mash, or wants to be the best friend of Mash, and I think Dot is in fact Ron.
Okay. I definitely think we can draw that Lemon is definitely Hermione Granger.
So my wife thinks somebody else is Hermione.
Who else could be Hermione?
Lance.
Oh. I disagree completely because he is not really that intelligent. He's just more skilled and has a lot of power, but not a lot of knowledge.
Well, Lemon, I don't know if you could say Lemon actually likes books. Like, let's be completely honest. Does she actually like like to study?
No, not really. Honestly, I guess.
Lance is the smart one in the group.
Yeah, he's getting ahead on all of his homework and stuff like that. So
That is
he's staying on
true.
top of his grades.
He did have a silver coin before everybody else. That is very Hermione-esque.
That is very Hermione. Okay, I can see that. It's just, I couldn't really find a hard fit because there really wasn't any super
it again.
study girl side.
So you think Lemon is Hermione?
I do,
Okay.
because she's blonde and she's a girl.
Very, very astute, man. If I'd only ever watched the movies, I would assume that she is Ginny. But
Okay,
I know the real Ginny, so that's not true.
because she needed to be rescued and she was dragged off by the Slytherins.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I see it.
But that is only movie Ginny, and actual Ginny. Yeah, we can just go from the first two. She's the Ginny from the first ones. So child Ginny. And then Finn. Do you have any guesses on Finn?
Honestly, I thought Finn was Ron. I thought he was like the useless side character with the older brother who's a prefect. I just thought that Finn and Rain fit Ron and Percy very well.
Okay.
Because Percy was a prefect and he was always looking up to him.
Okay. I would not guess Percy, but okay.
Who did you think?
Finn was not one I really thought about enough.
Neville Longbottom, probably.
Yeah, actually, I think that's who I thought of. That was who.
Whiny, but still get shit done.
One good perk. That's all you got.
Exact. One good perk, and that's all he needs. Love it.
And getting rescued by everybody else. So yeah, Finn is Neville. We won't do this for all the characters because that would take way too long.
So long.
There are quite a few. But let's go to. So you think Rain is Percy?
That's what I thought because he was just he essentially what I got out of the divine influencers, whatever they were, the divine visionaries. I kind of got them as the prefix. They were the house boys and whatnot. So I thought Rain was Percy.
Okay, interesting. If it were going to be a brother, I would go with Charlie.
Oh, okay. So even farther up.
Yes. Because Charlie, let's be honest, Charlie is the oldest brother.
He is a dragon hunter, but Percy got into the Ministry of Magic, so I guess
he's a little bitch the entire series. So
yeah, he actually does help he helps Voldemort in the end, so he wasn't that big of a bitch because he got up there with the Death Eaters. And we all know that they are the real winners of Harry Potter.
All right. In an alternate universe.
I am totally on the Death Eater side of Harry Potter. I thought it was a total loss for them, but that's just me.
Speaking of, I am going to say besides Olor, Andrew, so the guy who turns into the shark, and Answer Shinri, so the guy with the shurikens.
He had the shuriken jutsu,
Yes. I took all of the Magia Lupus as different personalities of Draco.
Oh, okay. I kind of got them as Crab and Goyle.
No, besides those two, I took all of them as these are all Draco's personalities.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I like that. I didn't think about that at first. I kind of had them all as different characters. What's her name? The girl was the girl from Slytherin who was just playing everybody in the freaking series. I forget her name in Harry Potter.
You're thinking of Love Cute.
Yeah, Love Cute was what's her name? I mean, she flirts with Draco pretty much the entire.
So
series.
That Love Cute is from the from this show, and then you're thinking of you keep talking, and I will look into it.
Yeah, she's I thought Love Cute was the girl from Slytherin that is always playing with Draco, and she's a little maniacal little bitch. But I thought that was definitely her. I thought these guys were more on the Death Eater side than they were. I mean, I thought Abel, one and for sure, was definitely Draco Malfoy. I mean, that is undebatable, but I thought everybody else was more of Silva and Answer, and I thought Answer and Olor were Crab and Goyle, but Silva and Milo Genius and Worth, I thought those were all Death Eater characters, not so much Slytherin characters.
Yes, and I took them all as Slytherin characters, and so I believe that they're all essentially Draco. They're different snippets of his personality.
I like that. I can see that.
So even Love Cute was a version of Draco? Like, tell me I'm cute and...
No, that one. Pansy Parkinson. That's who it is.
Parkinson, yes, absolutely.
No, man, that's a good one. I don't know who she would be because there were no... I guess she was the female version Armtail.
Insecure.
And flipping sides for whoever's the strongest.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah, Love definitely did that.
Yeah, definitely.
Let
Immediately,
me
pretty
rip this
much.
jacket off. I guess I joined the wrong side.
Yeah. Wait, that's gonna turn us all into puppets. I'm on his team now. Okay.
I defect. I'm switching sides.
Yeah, she even says I'm a defector. Like, she's like proud of it.
So yes, that was my thought. I understand what you're saying. I just did not give them enough credit. The Divine Vision, or not the Magia Lupus. I didn't give them any credit. They're all just the pseudo Death Eaters, but in Hogwarts. So I took them all as Draco's personality. So it's just
I like that. There were so many Harry Potter references within this whole show. I thought it was great for just, people like us that love Harry Potter. And we've always been asking, I think every Harry Potter fan has always been asking, like, where is the Harry Potter anime? Well, here it is, Mashle.
Yes. To get back into something Lance can talk about, because I feel like we've talked to like 10 minutes and Lance has said 3 words. Did you all have a favorite magic type?
Ooh, I did not think about this kind of a question.
Because this is the biggest difference between Harry Potter and Mashle is nobody really used everything except for unlocking and locking things.
The simple skills, yeah.
But everybody had their essentially special abilities, which is very anime-esque. Alec, did you have one? Since you are definitely a magic person.
So I really liked the gravity magic. I thought that was the coolest thing and a very useful power is to have gravity control. I thought that was pretty high end and just really cool technique.
Yep, I think that is a good choice. Lance, now that you've been stewing in it for 30 seconds,
it's kind of hard to choose one because one's not like super overpowered. Like we have a lot of generic stuff going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say Dot because of explosions. Like,
why not?
I mean, I love explosive stuff and I loved Dot, but I feel like I need to choose.
But he even had time bombs.
Those time bombs, that was a very good scene.
Yeah, that was cool.
He had everybody fooled. Like, we thought they were just mines, but they turned out to be time bombs. So that was very interesting. I don't know, maybe...
You didn't like Rain's swords?
Abyss?
Rain's was awesome. Abyss was cool too. And I almost said Abyss, but what I keep going back to is Allure, and he's the shark boy. And it's not like I like him, but it's the fact that he had shark evolution and just that concept alone bought me. I loved the fact that 1, he transformed into a shark, and 2, he basically went Super Saiyan 2 and had another transformation and went even more badass. Unfortunately, he went up against Mash, and
who couldn't swim until 30 seconds before.
that was another funny scene.
Glub, 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 glub.
Blah, 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 blah. Thank you. So it was just a fun scene to watch. I mean, I didn't like his human side where he had like lazy eyes and he was just that big doof, but the shark evolution, that's what got me. I love that.
Okay.
Otherwise, everybody else's powers was awesome, but I just keep going back to shark evolution. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I definitely did love Abyss's magical ability. I thought the super speed was really cool.
Oh, you're going with his actual ability? Okay, sorry, I kept thinking it was.
You mean his demon eye?
No, I'm gonna go with Rain, but I think Abyss is a good consideration for second.
Right, his like speed up and speed down ability. I thought that was a very interesting concept.
And then
combined with his demon eye or cursed eye or whatever,
which again didn't matter because he was going against Mash.
Yeah.
I still think that Mash has a magical ability. It just hasn't been identified yet.
Yeah, it's power.
Power, of course. But it's hamstring magic.
We're far enough in this podcast episode that we can start talking about what we think is going on with MASH.
Okay.
So it's very clear, and they made a reference to it, that MASH does have a type of aura.
Yes.
So I got one more thing to add, but before I throw that in, what are you guys' thoughts on MASH and potential powers or something?
Okay, I do want to circle back to something, but yes, as far as MASH is power, I think he has nothing.
You think he's still zero?
I'm taking it at face value. What about you, Alec?
He's typeless. Okay. I think he has muscle enhanced powers. Like they all like talk about like, hey, like is he using like muscle enhanced? Like what is like some like archaic version of magic that is just gone now because of how used to magical other things that they're like they can do everything else with magic. Why would they ever focus on muscle enhancing magic? Whereas Mashle has it, and not only has it, like he has a plethora of it and can use it without even really understanding it. So I think he does have magic. It's just that it's a magic that everyone else has forgotten and doesn't pay attention to anymore.
It kind of almost sounds like you're saying his superpower is almost an isekai power where he's pulling muscular and like I don't know. Maybe that doesn't even make too much sense. I was trying to pull too much into that. I'm sorry.
Not necessarily isekai, but
not isekai,
like
but
a whole
like
different source in general.
I think he has like an ancient magic where like this is where magic started. It was like enhancing humans, and now it's become like technology is now. Now we have robots cleaning our house. We don't vacuum. So it's basically the same. It's the same thing. Like why build up the skills to vacuum when you have a Roomba robot doing it for you? So he has this ancient form of physical magic that's different from everyone else's normal version of magic.
Interesting.
I like it.
That's what I got out of it.
My take is I'm gonna pull a page out of Black Clover, and I'm gonna say that like he has like anti-magic. And
Anti-magic.
I'm gonna say this because in the first couple episodes, when he's deflecting that police officer's dragon killing shot and then just treating it like it's just a play toy.
It's a volleyball.
It's a soccer ball. He smacked it away. This super powerful attack had literally nothing to do with anything. He treated it like a toy. He's got that, and he is going toe to toe with all these magical abilities with literally just his body. And he's outputting this aura, but maybe this is going to be like a yin and yang, like a magnet, like positive and negative kind of thing. Like maybe he's taken in magic only to reflect it outwards kind of deal. So I think he's maybe not a negator, but like a reflector or something along those lines. I don't know if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, but like something along those lines.
Okay, it makes sense. He's the magic mirror, but instead of reflecting it, he's just absorbing it almost.
Right, like yeah.
Okay,
because he does take damage.
Right.
It's just nothing to him because he's the main character.
Right. I mean, I know he's like Saitama and he can just handle everything and do it all, but at the same time, like he's also in physical contact with most of this magic, and you'd think it would overpower him, but he's able to withstand it / reflect it and handle it, whatever. So I want to say he's got a little something on the inside instead of the outside.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think there's definitely something that's going to be revealed in season 2.
Definitely.
I mean, they set it up for a season 2 so well for it. So I think there's definitely going to be, if it's not revealed, there'll definitely be a pointer that something's going to happen with him.
Oh, and another part of my magic deflection / negation was when Cell Wall came in, he instantly got a headache.
It's Cell War.
Cell War, sorry, thank you. Cell War. So he instantly got a headache. So there's something going on.
He also like activated when he touched him. Remember he got that little mark when Mash touched him.
Which mark?
Like that little weird mark on his hand.
Oh yeah, that's right. He sizzled for a second.
Yeah, there's something going on with those two that is definitely going to be in season 2.
Right.
It's gotta.
Yes.
So yeah, there's so the biggest question of all has to be answered, and everybody's wondering it. And I just feel, I mean, that's my personal opinion, I guess. We all have ideas on where it can go, and they're all valid. I like them all.
Except for mine's very cut and dry.
So you think he doesn't have magic at all?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you're just agreeing with the show. It's just face value. He's just muscles.
The
Suji, we're getting it right.
Suji, yeah.
Suji, I like it.
His muscle, yeah.
I need to start using these words in like everyday conversation, and then one day I'll just start speaking Japanese.
You're just at work, just full entire Japanese and
Just singular words, no sentences, just a
Yeah,
bunch
no.
of words put together.
suji desu ka? Huh?
Yeah.
It's like,
Eh?
Baka.
oh man, it's the guy from Jujutsu who only uses foods.
Oh,
Yes. Salmon roll.
What is he saying? Oh, he actually meant this whole sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely understands them.
Yeah, I think this show is to the imagination as far as what it is. So that's why I think that it is MASH just can do 1,000,000 bench press at 1,000 pounds. Like I just think it is what it is.
Yeah, he's just Superman.
Yes, I am interested to see, but to go back to one of my thoughts, Lance, when it came to favorite characters, I thought you were gonna take Shuren, who's the Rose Whip guy.
Oh, you thought I was gonna pull some Yu Yu Hakusho stuff out of this?
Yes.
No,
I
Shuren,
thought for
yeah.
sure you were. That's
Like,
why I didn't say anything.
ability.
You
Oh,
love
both of
it.
you?
I thought the ability. I thought that's the one you were gonna choose.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely the one to make those parallels all the time, and I did think that immediately. Obviously, I mean, he did straight up say Rose Whip,
Yes.
but
Mm-hmm.
With no rose.
Set
but
you
yes.
up.
no, Kurama's cool and all, but Kurama's also not one of my favorite Yu Yu Hakusho characters. So I wasn't Shuin with the Rose Whip, and he was wrapping up Dot in the Time Bomb episode with that big battle. That didn't pull my interest in as much as other battles did. In fact, I was more interested in Milo, the guy with the white hat and the green hair.
Milo
Okay.
Genius? Yeah.
Yeah, the stone guy. He had the stone abilities, and like he made that stone ogre almost bite Dot. Oh, that's right. I made a note. I called them Cosmo and Wanda, Milo and Love Cute,
Yeah?
because they showed up together, and Milo
Green
had
and
green hair
pink.
and Love Cute had pink hair, so it was Cosmo and Wanda.
I can see it.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought right away. So I thought that was pretty funny.
One question I had, so you know how like they say like Lance has a double mark, and does that mean like the two lines are there together, or are like people like Abyss Razor, how he has one line on his right side, one line on his left side, is that also a double line user? Like what is it?
I would imagine that it is what it is. If there is two lines, it doesn't matter if it's on the same side or both sides. Two lines are going to equal out to everybody else's magical output. That it's just easier for them to level up compared to everybody else. That's kind of the way I would take it, because we have two-liners being defeated by one-liners, and that's because two-liners are more cocky because they feel like they're stronger. So, like I'm saying, talking too much. To wrap it up, I just feel that two-liners just level up faster, so they're stronger sooner, kind of thing.
Okay.
It doesn't-
You don't think they like have more power than one-liners?
Right. Yeah, and we got our one triple-liner, and I just feel like they just start out at like level 50 compared to everybody else at level 1. Like they got experience gain too, and like double experience, just all that stuff. They just get all the bonuses, and they're all the much better.
Well, I just didn't know like if it counted like people like Dot, where they just have the line on one side of their face, Finn who has it on one side of his face, whereas Rain has it on two sides of his face.
Right.
I didn't know if they considered that a double line, whereas
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Lance has two lines, but they're both on one side of his face. So I didn't know if that counted as a double line or a single line. Like I just didn't get the whole lines and what categorized somebody as like Answer Shinri, the dude with the shurikens. He's got two lines on one side of his face, but he wasn't that strong at all.
Ooh, good point. Yeah, he was kind of a bitch. But yeah, I mean, to get to the base question of the thing, I think no matter how many lines are on their face, whether and in additional if it's left or right, the lines adding up is just the total. I don't think that makes a difference.
Okay.
It's just kind of more like the illustrator's choice in that kind of aspect. But yeah, you're totally right. That Shuriken guy, there was nothing special about him. If he's supposed to be super powerful, maybe he was just a slacker.
Yeah, I think he was a slacker. He had a really cool ability and was like, oh yeah, nothing can beat me. And that's obviously not the case.
Yeah.
In life, there will always be one loser and one winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge trope. I'm glad they pointed that out so hardcore multiple times. So deep.
Yeah, he would like say like the most meaningless of sentences, but he would like say like there can only be one winner or one loser. It's like, well, yeah, you're just kind of pointing out the obvious, dude.
Yeah, and dramatic pauses and everything.
The sun rises in the east.
Might as well.
Cool. Yes, thank you.
But yeah, let's stick on this line thing because I made a note in my notes that
Yes, yeah, really?
since okay, so since this is satire,
Okay.
and this is all for fun and this is all bullshit and we don't have to take too much too serious.
Well, everybody should want to be like MASH, but yes.
Right. But I would like to see some kind of final boss have like just 20 fucking marks on his face.
Okay.
And just make him he would be like the god of the world, and they're gonna like enunciate how many stupid lines he has on his face. Whether it could be like 5 lines and it could be in a star shape. That was one of my thoughts. But then I had another thought, but like I want his face to be almost completely hashtagged into the most defined aspects of whatever, just to show that he's just got a million lines on his face. Like they can go that route too, but I want to see someone with a stupid amount of lines and then MASH just overpower him.
So I kind of have an opposite of this.
Okay. What's
So
your thoughts?
the fact that the evil organization is called Innocent Zero, and anyone that doesn't have a line, effectively someone who's a zero line, is essentially imprisoned or taken by the magical society. I think people without a line are actually more like MASH are more powerful than all of the wizards, no matter how many lines they have. And that's why it's called Innocent Zero, because they've got no lines, they must be not powerful at all, but really like they're the most powerful people.
I love that idea so much. That makes so much more sense.
That's what I got out of it.
Okay, I like that. What do you, Matt? You don't like that idea?
Matt's got a grumpy face. What do you think?
If it wasn't for... So they're all supposed to be squibs, right? Squibs are basically people, but with backgrounds into wizards and witches and stuff in their family tree. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for the fact that, the quick quotes, quill, or not quick, no, I'm thinking, it's the book that Filch has in his office in the books, and quick quote spell, something like that. Anyway, if that were the case, we would have a lot more, going back to Mashle, we would have a lot more superhumans in the normal world than, like, they're not killed. This isn't genocide where they're killing kids without lines, because remember, the sister basically would get banished, but she's not getting killed for being magicless when she loses her magical powers.
Okay. Good point.
But she is getting collected by them.
But she's not getting round up and killed. She's just getting essentially banished from
the world. Well, she would eventually be killed by like this government because they're killing anybody without magic powers, quote unquote.
They didn't want to kill Mashle either. When he was in the city and everyone was freaking out that he didn't have a mark, he was there to be captured. They called the police to capture him. He wasn't being rounded up to be killed. They wanted to capture him.
Yes. So that's my only thought process against what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Were you saying that you think that markless people, magicless people are more powerful?
No, I think they're just powerless.
Powerless. Okay. Now I remember my counterpoint because sorry, I've been drinking a little bit.
Yes, that's
you were talking. I was waiting for you to finish talking. So what my counterpoint is? What if the society is killing markless people who appear to have no magic because later on they are more powerful than people with magic?
How would they know about that if they killed them?
I don't know. Maybe this is like 100 years ago and nobody knows but a select few. So like, what if the markless are a threat to the people with the mark? And that's why they're always killed for the sake of the society growing.
For progress, for the sake of progress.
What you got, Alec?
So when he was when Mashle was fighting what was his name? Abyss Dagger.
Yep. The
evil
eye guy.
Yeah. What was his name again? Abyss something.
It is Abyss. I don't think it's Dagger though.
Abyss Razor. That's what it is.
There we go. Close
so
enough.
Abyss. It's a sharp object. Abyss Razor. Yeah. He made a comment. You are like me.
Yes.
But he could use magic, but his was different from other people's. It was acceleration magic or deceleration magic. But
Sorry, I just took that as they were rejected by everybody in their life, and that's the only reason they were like each other.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
outcasts.
I thought he was saying their magical abilities were similar, and I was like, but not really. What are you
Right.
getting at?
Yeah, I didn't take... Magic had nothing in my mind. It was just their acceptance in their culture.
I
They were
definitely
just
thought it at
rejected.
first, though. Like when he first meets him, I was like, wait a second. But then, no.
Yeah, then he starts doing all this magic stuff and looking at him with his cursed eye, but Mashle could still do his hamstring magic, so I'm not sure that his magic can't... I don't think his hamstring magic was actually magic at that point because it wasn't being negated.
And his spine buster.
And the spine buster. Yeah, that one. That was great.
All right, I think this will be a good moment to take a quick break.
Hey Toasties, I'm Missy, here with my bestie Johnsy.
Hey y'all.
Do you like mind-blowing crime cases, spooky tales, and debating theories?
Well, what a coinky-dink, so do we. Grab your beverage and be a part of our Toasted Shenanigans on your favorite podcast app.
You can even send us a story or drink suggestion. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or at toastedshenanigans.com.
Hey, this is Tyler, one of the hosts of RangerCast. On our show, we talk about Power Rangers and other multi-unit spandex heroes. We've got news, reviews, interviews. We talk about the comics, the games, the toys, and all things more phenomenal. Find us at Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or check us out at rangercast.net. May the power protect you.
Welcome back from our break. So this would be a good time to start talking about potential favorite scenes. Who's got a favorite scene? Matt, you want to start?
Yeah, I can do that. We've made it over an hour, and we're just now getting into favorite scenes. So it definitely says something about this show. My favorite scene, I've already talked about it. It's the Mandrake one. That entire episode.
Yeah, that was so funny.
When he slaps the Mandrake and it just gets like the O face and then passes out. I died. It was just absolutely hilarious. And then when he's double makes the cream puffs and Lantz is watching over him, just so funny. It was absolutely hilarious. That was definitely my favorite moments.
Pretty much that, like, half that episode right there. Like, that was, like I was saying earlier, like, in any other show you would expect that to be such low quality, but this show just pulled it off so well.
Yes, absolutely. I almost just cried from laughing so hard the first time I watched it. It was so funny.
Oh, I agree with you there.
So Alec, what about you? Do you have a favorite scene?
I also was dying during that entire episode. That was so funny. It was really like, wait, let me watch you make this again, and he does exactly that thing, but it ends up in a cream puff. I'm dying. But I would say my favorite scene would probably have to be the fight between Rain Ames and what's his name, Cell War. I thought that was just freaking badass. Rain, I think there's a lot more to see from him. I think he was just kind of just showing us a touch of his power in that episode. And Cell, same thing with him. I think he was literally, they were just showing glimpses of their power, and I can just only imagine what levels it's going to break into in the second season. So that whole episode, I was just like on pins and needles, like, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? I think the swords versus Cell's like shape-shifting abilities, I think they got a really cool thing going on.
Okay, that's a good one.
Definitely.
Lance, what about you?
So I'm gonna pull out two real quick. Mine are LOL scenes, and one of them was when he started naming all of his muscles. That one was hilarious to me. Like, this one's Kevin, this one's Steve, and he had a name for all of his muscles, and I thought that was really funny. So that was one. And then another one of my favorite lines was when Mash was first fighting Lance, and he sees that he's got a picture of a little girl, and he's like, "Oh, I better call the cops. You're a pervert." And he's like, "I'm not a pervert." And he's like, "Are you a lolicon?" "No, I'm not a lolicon. I'm a sister con." Or no, before even that, he's like, "Oh, are you a pervert in training?" Or something. Yeah.
Are you training to become one?
Yeah, exactly. I thought, oh god, god, that was so funny. So yeah, that whole little part, like it's taken that basic idea and then just making a joke out of it. So I'm glad they like broke that wall and just brought it to a form of reality. Like, yeah, that's not cool. So
I don't have a lolicon. I don't have a lolly complex. I have a sister complex.
Exactly.
And even Mashel's like, that's not much better, dude.
yeah. Yeah, not much better. I guess I have another one of my favorite quotes from this one was, "In the name of peace and justice, these muscles will flex."
Oh man, there was so many just absolute one-liners.
I love when he shoots like that look of death at I think it was Silva. Yeah, it was Silva after he shot that iron blast at Mashle. And then the reason he shot that look of death was because he thought that one of his cream puffs in his pocket had been obliterated. And he's like, wait, he's like, oh good, my cream puff survived. and his friend Finn is like, wait, that's what that look was about? Oh my god, I loved it.
The cream puffs play too much of a role in this series, especially when we like.
I mean, look at the entire closing credits.
Oh, the closing credits! Oh god, the closing credits was. I laughed so hard when it was all supported around the cream puff.
Like the song is chocolate. Chocolate strawberry
cream. Yeah. Oh, okay. Another one of my favorite scenes was in like the first episode when Mash is walking into his dad's house. He's like, cream puff, CRE puff, cream puff, CREA puff.
I noticed that too. Do Japanese people not pronounce M? Is it M?
No, they'll pronounce the M. I mean, I didn't watch this in sub.
Or is it M because it's yummy?
Yes,
right.
Probably.
I think it just added to the song, so it was just really funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
But back to cream puff stuff and it being so obviously important to him. Like back when he was fighting Abel, the doll maker, and turned Mash into a doll, and then he had that reflex because his cream puff got taken from him.
Mm-hmm. Was that a spinal reflex because of the cream puff?
Yeah.
Loved it. Oh my god.
Only this show can pull that off.
I think satire is the greatest form of humor. Like, I know a lot of people are into a lot of different things, but to me personally, I love it. Like, I think this is so freaking funny.
100%.
I do find it hilarious. Well, I know we've talked about it, but when everybody realizes that he wasn't using magic.
Mm-hmm. In the very end?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then his nervousness when people are like asking him questions about his magic. He's like, I do magic.
I do hamstring magic.
And then at the very end, when he gets found out, he's just like, oh, well, I got found out. Just not fighting it in the slightest.
Do you think he's going to be put in school jail? Because I know now everyone in the school knows that he can't do magic now.
Well, there's a select few.
To answer your question, no, because the headmaster is going to do everything he can to be like, you didn't know about it beforehand, so obviously it's not a big deal.
Right.
He is total Dumbledore, so yeah, I see that.
Yes, I'm going to do what I want when I want.
50 points for Gryffindor.
Oh, I'm surprised they never made any kind of those references.
I thought for sure they were going to.
They did make references. It's the coins.
I guess that's the coins.
And then the Slytherins always win until Harry gets in, and then Harry wins all of the house points and wins every year. Just like in this one where Mash is going to get all the house points and win.
I love when, like, at the very end, and he's like, moolah, 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 and, like, this is all the coins just dancing around in a circle. I've died. Oh, my God. That was so funny.
Back to that scene. That part under Mashle was funny, but when they were dancing around in circles, like, heroine, I am a heroine. Again, any other anime, I would have been like, this is fucking stupid, but, like, again, this one pulled it off. Like, I accept it in this form
because it is on par with the rest of the series.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I think satire animes are really like One Punch Man satire anime. Like, I love it. I think they do a really good job at like making you realize like how ridiculous this anime really is and how ridiculous a lot of animes really are. But this one just makes it really just like out front and in your your face like we're ridiculous and we care that we're ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't like it when satires take themselves too seriously. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I don't like One Punch Man. But my wife.
Oh, because you think it's too satire?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay, so I think let's start winding this to a somewhat of an end, and let's just start hypothesizing what we think about next season and what to expect. We already talked about Mash's potential powers, what we thought about him and his stuff. I don't know, what do you guys want out of season 2? Alec, do you have any more wants?
Absolutely. So in season 2, I want to get an introduction to these people that broke out of the prison and are going to be threatening these students in the school. I think that's going to be an integral part to season 2. I think that Jean-Pierre, the cannibal, and Cell War are going to have a huge impact on season 2 as far as like the introduction of the new evil force outside of the Magnus Lupes people that were in the Slytherin folk.
Ooh,
Magia Lupus.
Mega Lupus. Quick comment that I want to throw on this. So there was one quote that Mash said, like, Magnus Lupus. That sounds like something I made up when I was 12. So when he said that, that made me immediately think that this author, the creator of this show, literally thought of that name, that phrase, when he was actually around that time frame. So I wonder if that was like a personal indent.
I could totally buy that. Absolutely.
So I would love that if that was like just some personal shit to throw in there. But other than that, I 100% agree. I think Cell War and the Cannibal, they definitely need to be... Jean-Pierre. They need to be in the beginning of season 2, and they need to start and carry everything forward into this new group.
Oh, I think Jean-Pierre is going to get arrested like the first episode.
Immediately?
Yes.
I can see this satire, just might as well just get rid of him immediately because he's a criminal.
Rain is way too powerful, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, this guy's so terrible, and then immediately just overpowers him and arrested.
Right, and Jean-Pierre has, like, he summoned, like, these fake knives.
Oh, I think they're real knives.
Yes. Sorry. I meant, like, in quality-wise, he was, like, summoning these knives where our new boy, he's summoning swords. So we have, like, knives versus swords. So he's going to get overpowered in that. So I can see, like, him being taken care of relatively quick.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going that route.
Okay. Lance, do you have any hypotheses for season 2?
I mean, I like where you guys are going. I 100% agree with how things should start. But at the same time, yeah, this is definitely going to have to revolve around Innocent Zero for the rest of season 2 because they're the new baddies, and this is considered a Shonen Jump, so we're going to need those kind of actions.
Okay.
So we need that. And then one thing I googled earlier was that this manga is finished as of July 3rd, 2003. So
23?
Yeah. Sorry, 2023.
I was
going to say, this is that old?
It's not 20 years. It says here chapter 162 ended, and Matt, where did season 1 end?
39.
39. Oh shit, we got a lot of information.
We got like
you could go with like
seasons then.
Yeah, 4 seasons.
Damn. Okay, so season 2 is definitely not going to be the finale of Mashle.
Yep.
So we can. Oh my god, there's so much stuff that can happen. Okay, so.
Well, okay.
Okay, so season 2, I expect complete Zero Squad.
Okay.
But I would like to go back to my comments earlier about there being some kind of big god who has like 100 lines on his face, and he's the big baddie or something like that.
That's going to be Innocent Zero, but yes.
Yeah, sure.
Innocent Zero is a person, not an organization. Like, I got really confused on that as they were talking about it.
I think it's both.
You think it's a person and an organization?
I think it's his organization. So I think it's a group named after him.
Okay, I like that, yeah.
So he would be like All for One, essentially, from My Hero?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He's Voldemort. He's going to be Voldemort.
Oh,
that's what it's going to...
He is Voldemort. The only difference is that he named his group after him instead of anything else. All for One, the only reason why I'm going with no is because All for One didn't have any followers. He just had like people who worshipped him. There is a difference.
Yeah, he just recruited people.
He used people. Yeah. He didn't really recruit anybody.
I was about to say, like, he recruited pawns.
Yes.
Like, yeah, they were just
to be able to steal their abilities and repurpose them.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, my biggest thing is I want to know more about Mash his past, like who his parents were.
Yes, definitely.
He's an orphan, so that's going to be really hard.
Well, he was dumped. There is
He was left to die, and he just so happened to be found by the dad figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't think we're going to find out anything about his past until like the final season, because he's probably going to get like super popular and be like, oh yeah, I'm your parents. It's like, okay, cool. You're not actually my parents. This old guy is my only father.
You find out that his dad is this super buff bodybuilder guy.
Innocent Zero.
What if his dad is Innocent Zero? Exactly. Oh my
Dude,
god.
It very well could be. Why not?
Well, then
It's a satire.
Why'd he dump him?
It is satire, so it could totally be.
Anime logic. I don't know.
Yes. I mean, it'd be interesting to find out. I don't think we're going to get it in season 2. I think in season 2, we're going to get more of the prison break individuals. We're going to get more of them. We have to figure out what's going to happen to MASH, like, immediately. That's the beginning. Everybody knows he no longer has, well, not no longer. He never was able to use magic.
Right.
So how are we going to wash this under the rug?
Do you think they're going to make it more Harry Potter-esque, or do you think that was just an entry point for this anime? Do you think they're going to continue with more Harry Potter references, or do you think they're just gonna kind of end it and kind of form their own thing?
The castle is Hogwarts Castle. They're going to continue.
Okay, I think so as well, but I just want to know your guys' opinion.
I think they did all of the heavy lifting early on. I think they might pull a couple more references here and there.
Yep.
But I do think all of the heavy lifting was just to get the introduction in, and he's going to continue to spawn on further into their own direction. Hopefully throwing in a couple more fun things here and there from Harry Potter, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit more on the shonen side here on forth.
They've only covered the first 2 books and then the 5th book with a prison break. So they do have 5 more books to pull source from.
That's okay. That's a good point. I would love to see them just continuously ripping off.
Goblet of Fire is going to be season 2, and I'm calling it right now. Tournament's coming up next. In every anime, season 2 is always a tournament.
Death tournament.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be all 3 schools going against each other. We're going to see them orcas. They're going to come out, and they're going to be friggin' awesome.
No, it'd have to be another school. That's what the tournament is. But they'll have an in-house tournament, and then a bunch of other schools will come together, and that's when they'll have. But that's how they'll explain why MASH can stay at school, because he'll be the champion.
I love it. I would definitely watch season 2 of this. Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
But that would explain. It's like, well, I think he should be here. I, as in the headmaster. It's like, if any of you can beat him, I will kick him out of school. Then nobody beats him. So then he gets to stay.
Okay. Because Rain couldn't beat him.
Nope.
So
no, Rain was also only throwing 3 or 5% of his attacks at him.
Yeah.
It was 30.
30. Oh, he did eventually end up.
Yeah.
It
I have a blank at that.
I think it started
third
at
of his power.
5, and then I think it went to 15, and then I think it went to 30 at the end.
Yeah.
And that's when he was bunting the 30.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was still preschool stuff going on.
Yeah.
But Rain has definitely not gone full scale on him.
I want to see Rain go full scale.
Is Rain graduated, or is he like a 3rd year?
He's a third year.
He's a 3rd year. Okay. So, yes.
Which is that the highest year?
Yes.
That's what I figured. I didn't see any 4th or anything else above it, so I assume 3rd year was the highest.
Well, I want to say MASH is...
He's a 1st year.
He's a 1st year, and he's like 15 or 16. So, yeah. He's 15 right now. So, 15 to 18. That makes sense to be a 3-year school.
Might as well. How many years has Hogwarts been a thing? How many?
It was 11 to 17, so it was 7 years.
Oh, okay. So it was like an old school kind of academy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, middle school and high school.
Okay.
What?
Ooh, I think I found a spoiler, but I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, don't say it. Don't say it. I don't really have anything else.
I'm not gonna say it.
God. Anybody got anything else?
I don't know. I think I'm pretty tapped out on Mashle at this point.
Brady tapped out on Mashle.
I liked it. I
yeah,
think this was a really, really good anime. Highly recommend. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites, but I have a lot of expectations for it as a Harry Potter fan. I love it. I can't wait to see more. But as far as an introductory season 1, this did a great job. Pulled me in for sure.
Sure. So what me and Matt have been doing kind of recently was we've been kind of giving this our own little personal scale.
Yep. Yep.
So what would you scale this as and why?
So like on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably scale this a solid 6. It's definitely above average. It has a lot to look forward to. It's not a top tier anime. I would not consider this up with my favorites, but it is definitely one that I thoroughly enjoyed. I was paying attention the whole time, and I want more out of it. So I would give this a solid above average 6 scale.
Okay. I already watched this once, and I had to. I recommended this to Lance. So Lance, I want to hear your opinion.
Okay. I'm not gonna pull too far away from Alec too, because like if we want to say like 5 is like super basic.
No, you got to go by your scale.
Oh, by my scale?
Yes.
Okay, my personal scale is if I liked it, it's already like a solid 7.5.
Okay.
But that's not too fair because like I feel like this one deserves a real critical eye.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is so simplistic and basic. It has to fall around the 5 to 6 range just because of the simplicity. But because the humor lands, there's high interest in what's going to happen next. The battle scenes are like they're there. Like they're not amazing, but they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I guess I'm going to pull a lot from what I want out of season 2 and just the interest aspect. Like I don't want to give this anything higher than a 7. So I'm going to guess I'm going to put this at a solid 6.5, 6.7, somewhere between there, because it's hard to say that because this is good, but it's good in like because it's satire, and it's hard to give satire amazing.
I would say it is unique though.
It is. So maybe because they did such a great job with the satire, I'm gonna give them a minimum 7.
Okay.
They did a good job. I like this. This is it's just not like, this is what anime means. But like this is a solid show. This is stuff that newbies could definitely get into.
Yep.
As long as they have an open mind and in the comedy sense. But like this is an easy 7.
If you have a childish humor, you will love this show.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So solid 7.
Okay.
Matt, what are you feeling?
I give myself kind of I don't want to say I'm a hard grader, but I would say 6.5. It's good. I can rewatch it in instances like this where it's like, okay, we have the podcast. I need to rewatch it to cover it. I enjoyed the first time through. I enjoyed the second time through. It's kind of one of those, like, it's a 2 thumbs up because it was a good show, but I can't continuously watch it. So I can't give it like a high rating. So it's 6.5, which to me is like, it's funny. It's got memorable moments, but it's not like, oh my God, this is the best. Like, I'm going to go tell everybody about it kind of thing.
Agreed.
It's so hard because like we all feel that this is so good, but at the same time, like it's also not that good.
It's going to be niche.
Yeah.
If you like Harry Potter and you like anime, you're probably going to like this.
If you like kind of easy humor, it's an easy watch. I will say that.
Yeah, there is no in-depth that you need to pull from this and like really start to break down.
No, there's nothing like, that's why when it came to when you guys were asking, what do you think the Mashle's power is? I'm taking it at surface level because there is nothing deep about this show.
And it very well could be surface level. He could just be that dim-witted, zero-powered someone.
He's been doing double front flips his entire life.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The show is good, but if you don't like, it's not crude humor, but easy humor or one-liner type stuff, you're not going to like this show. Mm-hmm. If you don't like Harry Potter, you're not going to like this show. It's not too in-depth, but it still is a good show. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's 6.5. I enjoyed it. I'm definitely not going to watch it for a third time, but I enjoyed it.
I think 2 times you've kind of understood what's going on in season 1.
Yes,
definitely. Yeah, and it's fair to say that all of us are excited for season 2.
Yep,
and that says a lot. So
yeah, I think winter of 24. So I think next season.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah,
I don't remember the actual season, but I know it clearly said 24, and I hope that they stay true to what they said at the end of the last episode. episode.
Do you think that means like January or March of next year? Or do you think that means December of next year?
Well, winter season starts in like October-ish.
January
Okay.
of 24.
Oh, so
January
this is gonna-
24? Okay.
January of 24.
This
Yep.
is coming out real quick. All right, so
I'll watch
by
it.
by the time I get this posted, it's pretty much going to be in like a week or two.
Okay.
Yeah, look at us go. We're apparently that good.
Okay.
We're
great.
relevant. We are in with the times.
just
What?
in time.
Anime reveals Divine Visionaries in new trailer as of 11 hours ago. I'm not going to jump on that trailer, but there are trailers out there.
Okay, interesting.
Cool.
So yes, I want to say this came out 22.
Yeah, I think this was early 22.
So it was a good one. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely.
So this is going to conclude our conversation for Mashle, and now we're just going to continue with some other anime bullshit and let all of our listeners know where we are on watching just the random anime stuff that we are.
Yes.
All right, so Matt, what are you watching on the side?
So I am covering a bunch of short flights to put it in perspective. Because let's see, I'm covering Spy Family, Freyrin, MF Ghost, Shield Hero, and
Yep.
we're covering Jujutsu. So that's 5 right there.
Oh my god, I didn't realize it was really that
Oh,
many.
Jujutsu's
Yeah.
out too. Yeah.
Yeah, Jujutsu never stopped.
Yeah, Jujutsu didn't stop. So I'm currently in this season watching 5 separate shows. I've been saying it on short flights. Freyrin is probably my nomination for Anime of the Year. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is absolutely amazing. I think anybody and everybody should watch it. It is a little slow, but the characters are amazing. It goes super in depth with everybody. I love how they mix in the past and the present kind of because Freyrin's been around for so long, like they're explaining kind of what's going on, her thought process through the past into the present. So they do a very good job. Fight scenes are really good, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving Freyrin. And then another one I'm watching is The Greatest Demon Lord is Reborn as a Typical Nobody. I just started that one. It's interesting. We'll put it that way. His harem, as of right now, is a succubus and a big boobed elf.
Oh, love that.
Yes, and I'm just like, okay, that's not what I was expecting out of this show, but let's continue, I guess. I finished season 1 of the Faraway Paladin. Pretty good one. I know it was ranked pretty well when it came out last year. I think is when it came out.
Okay.
I'm currently watching 5 this season, so anything extra I'm watching is kind of, yes.
Yeah, you're already pretty busy as it is.
Yeah, and on top of everything else I'm doing in my personal life. So yeah, fun times in my world. What about you, Lance?
Me? Okay, so my short flights this season are covering Ragna Crimson.
Yep, how's that?
Ragna Crimson is actually very good. It's a high dive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, High Dive. That's the website.
Yep.
High Dive. Wherever you watch Oshinoko,
Yep.
High Dive is another very good anime website where you can find other niche anime, and they do an amazing job. Eminent Shadow originated there, so great anime.
Fantastic series.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. So Ragna Crimson is basically a dragon hunter, and they got some future and past stuff going on there. I'm loving it. That's an amazing series. I'm also covering Undead Unluck. That's just a very silly, fun show to watch.
Okay, nice.
I'm having so much fun with this. Relax and let your mind loose and just have fun with this stupid show.
Is that the one you're covering the manga for as well?
I am covering that manga as well. I'm covering the manga on Ragna Crimson and Undead Unluck.
Oh man, look at you go.
Yeah, I'm getting
Ooh.
part of the manga world. The funny part is today's anime is following pretty freaking on T with everything that the manga has to relay. Because of course, there's gonna be small pieces that is skipped, but for the most part, I'm feeling you that like today's manga is on par with what the manga or what the anime is showing. So it's really funny. At least as far as Undead Unluck goes, pretty much every scene is taken directly from the manga. So it's really funny.
That doesn't also include the other surprise that I have for everybody as far as other things. It's a surprise. We'll talk about it later. later.
Oh, you got a little post surprise? Okay.
We've already talked about it.
Sure.
You know what's going on.
Okay.
But our listeners do not know what's going on.
A secret.
As far as the surprise is concerned.
Okay.
So, sorry to interrupt, but yes, I just thought about that.
Okay, so those two are going well. I'm watching Goblin Slayer Season 2.
Yes.
Goblin Slayer Season 2 is fine.
Yes.
It's not as like hardcore and edgy as Season 1 was.
Yep.
It's really leaning in towards like just the basic cliche shit that anime is really doing. Like it's almost like they sold out. I don't want to say they sold out, but like it's taken a slightly different path, like a more less mature path. And I liked Goblin Slayer because it was kind of on the hardcore side.
Yep, because that's what I was looking for when I started Goblin Slayer.
Yeah, so...
Granted, I was watching that at work. Probably a terrible idea. But, you know,
yeah, it's
details.
not safe for work.
No, definitely
absolutely not. But I kind of worked with a handful of individuals that didn't care. So...
Yeah. But I mean, that being said, Goblin Slayer is still interesting. I'm still looking forward to every episode coming out. I can't wait for the next one. Of course, this is going to come out in a couple weeks post, but like that doesn't diminish anything. I'm loving every episode that comes out.
The fact that they had a beach scene probably says everything.
Yeah, that's kind of like the selling out idea that I was thinking of.
You can't have an anime and not have a beach scene. Come on.
That's basically what it comes down to is, you know, they have their own...
Yeah.
Demon Slayer. I said this on a short flight and I edited it out. Goblin Slayer. They had their own thing going, and then they just kind of gave in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to bash on them, but in a way they kind of did.
Yep.
But I still love it. I'm still enjoying it. It's just less hardcore.
It's your typical season 2.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
I lost a lot of interest in Goblin Slayer because of that, and I was like, well, I thought they were going to be new, but it's just like any other anime, and I'm sorry, Goblin Slayer, you lost my fandom. Because I've seen 1,000 other things that are the same thing.
Yep.
Right now, I'm playing catch up. I'm watching Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, and Jujutsu Kaisen all at the same time right now. So I'm just kind of after the move. I have a lot of catch up to play.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you do have a phone. I'm just saying.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I watch most of my shows on my phone, so.
Yep.
But yes, no, I completely understand. It's life is definitely more important than anime, at least in this case.
Yeah. But I 100% agree with you. Goblin Slayer took a big step down, but that's okay. Like I'm trying to say, I don't want to discredit it too much. It's still interesting. It's just not as good.
I mean, the back half of season 2 might get real hardcore, so we don't know.
Maybe.
Because the movie was on par with most of what season 1 was.
Yes, that's for sure.
Is the movie canon?
Yes.
Technically,
it was.
yeah, because it was. They made so many references to season 1 stuff.
Yeah,
that, like it'd be almost stupid if it wasn't canon. Like, I don't know what the manga has to say, but like
it was in the manga. But remember, Goblin Slayer is a light novel, so I don't know if it's in the light novel series.
Okay. Yeah, I think I forgot about all that.
I feel like it would be, but I haven't read or listened to the light novel, so I don't know.
Sure.
I couldn't tell if it was making a lot of references towards season 1 because it was trying to like get the already like viewers into it a little bit more, or if it was actually canon. So that's why I was confused.
Yeah,
I think it is. We'll say it is.
It is.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of the it was all backstory stuff just to make sure that everybody was still on the same page. It was almost like a season 1 refresher. Plus, here's a little bit more like hardcore goblin action.
Yeah.
So it was good. The movie was good, and if you want that hardcoreness, it's a little bit better than season 2. Okay, no more bashing season 2. No more Goblin Slayer. I'm still watching other stuff.
Yeah, like what?
I too am staying current on Jujutsu Kaisen.
Fantastic season 2, by the way.
So good. Me and Matt started season 2 on doing this together. Work is really busy right now, so Matt's been taking over on the short flights, which I'm really thankful for because I am just busy.
I'm watching it anyway, so it doesn't change.
You're watching it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm watching it. We all love it. Every episode is so amazing. I'm also caught up on all of Attack on Titan. I did a small video trying to get on that hype train about my kind of quick thoughts on a handful of things. I feel like I had a couple different ideas on my video that some other people didn't necessarily talk about on other. So it just depends on how many people you watch on YouTube.
Every
so
one of them.
Without giving it away, did you like the ending of Attack on Titan? Yes or no?
Absolutely loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the manga has to say about the difference, and this is going to be a near future episode that Matt and I will talk about, that we can really break down a little bit more of the final of AOT. But as far as I'm concerned, I loved part 1 and part 2 of the finale.
Okay.
Just in general. So that's just going to be a bit of a teaser or non-teaser, I guess.
Just depends on when this gets launched, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, part 1 I watched at least 5 to 6 times
Oh my
over.
God.
I thought that was so awesome.
Yeah.
I am on part 1, so I need to watch that one still.
Oh,
Yeah.
no spoilers then, but it's awesome. Oh my god, so awesome.
Yep. And yeah, it was in English. I watched it and I listened to it all over again. So I've consumed part 1 twice.
Okay.
And obviously, part 2 at this current moment is only in Japanese, so I had to actually pay attention. So I've only consumed
Yeah.
part 1 once.
Yeah.
God
All right.
forbid we have to read.
Yeah, exactly.
Reading's overrated.
That's why we do English only, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the podcast is English only so that more people can be involved in our conversations.
Because not everybody likes subbed. Not everybody likes dubbed, but we got to pick one.
Yeah, we got
And my life is so much easier thanks to dub. So
exactly.
I watch enough sub stuff.
Yeah,
That's true.
We take a lot of new shows. I'm also trying to stay update with Dr. Stone. It's been a minute. There's been a family roadblock in my life, so I had to put some stuff on pause.
And that was super crazy. They were doing simul-dubbed, so it was dubbed the same day it was subbed.
Oh shit!
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
Maybe not when it started.
No, this part has been dubbed subbed at the same time.
Why the hell
I've
have
never
I been watching it sub then?
I don't know.
Oh,
I've been watching it dubbed the whole time.
God damn it. Okay, well, I'm also like 2 episodes behind at this point, so
Yeah, I'm a little behind as well.
I mean, yeah, but that's besides the point. Dr. Stone's one of my favorite anime of all time, so
That's another thing I've been, just to add to the list of things I'm watching. So Dr. Stone, and I started Tokyo Revengers 2.5.
2.5.
And
Yeah, Alec was with us on that last episode.
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's amazing. Gotta watch it. If you like Tokyo Revengers, watch season 2.5.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yes.
It's not really season 3.
If you look it up, it's season 3, but if you find it on Hulu, which if you're within the United States, that's where you're finding it,
Yeah.
it's season 2. It is season 2. So I have 0 ideas, so it's 2.5.
Yeah, we'll just have to
Okay.
wait for the overall anime community to figure that one out.
That's all I can
Core.
tell you is that
Season 2, core 2 kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
yes, that's exactly what it is. On Hulu, you can only find this newest season as season 2. Don't try to look for anything else. It's season 2.
And then I guess the other big thing I'm watching is I'm continuing my One Piece journey.
Okay.
Oh
How far
my
are you on
God.
that now?
I've slammed away a good solid 40 episodes.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if our listeners have listened to us in the past couple episodes. If we have any religious listeners, last I left off was I just entered the Sky Island, Skypiea, and I haven't finished this arc yet, but there's this thunder god, and that's all. I'm not gonna. Okay, well, we go up to like the heavens, and they get transported there through like this giant whirlpool they're in the middle of an ocean, and this big water current brings them up into the sky.
So you mean a bunch of pirates are in the ocean?
I mean, that's how it originally is. But there's this secret idea that there's a golden island in the sky.
Yep.
And they're trying to get there because they're pirates and they want the gold. And they get up there, and it's a giant fucking arc. This arc alone is over 50 episodes. So it's big and important. So I would imagine that like eventually when Netflix's series gets to this point, like it's gonna be a huge portion of that.
Season 2. All right, got it.
I know it's probably gonna be like a season 3 because there's also a lot of information in between.
Okay.
But anyway,
So what episode are you on? Do you know?
I'm on episode like 191ish.
So it still hasn't gotten good yet?
No, I haven't gotten to any of the super evolutionary parts of Gears or anything like that yet.
One Piece is the only anime that I've absolutely refused to make my way through because of that reason.
Exactly.
I just
I
could
said
not
that
get
2
drawn
years
in.
ago. I said that 2 years ago, and then I'm like, you know what?
We had that awesome conversation with the our buddies over at Actual Anime. Was just absolutely hyped it up. Amazing time.
Yeah, they really gave me they encouraged me enough to start this series because I already sat through all of Dragon Ball Z. I rewatched all of that, and I'm like, okay, well, if that was a couple hundred episodes, I might as well continue this idea of just casually watching shit on the side and get through One Piece. And that's what I've been doing when I've just been sitting in bed playing on my phone, doing laundry, doing shit in the basement where I'm helping my wife with her company stuff, or just anything on the side where I don't need to
hardcore pay attention.
Right? Like, I don't want to like just diminish it that much, but like it is on the side, and I am watching it, and I'm taking all of it in. But yeah, it's something that I'm like, for the on the side of the podcast, yes, I'm taking it all in. And
okay.
Yeah, I've been crushing these episodes because of a lot of side time, and I've been there was a week where I was listening to like 15 episodes, so I wasn't necessarily watching it all, but I can listen to it, and that's pretty much good enough for early One Piece. You can listen to it and you can imagine everything going on anyway. So I got 15 episodes worth of story right there. So
okay,
I'm making shortcuts to get through this.
So almost half of what you watched was listening.
Yeah, essentially, that's what it all comes down to.
That's One Piece.
Yeah.
See, that I can do like Naruto and I can do Dragon Ball Z and I can do Bleach, but to add One Piece into that, like, oh my god, that's just so much. Yeah, I can only put so much attention to so many animes.
I need, shortcuts. Just like Dragon Ball Z, I wish there was like a ×2 or a ×4 kind of fast forward deal. Just let me get through this as fast as possible. I get the overall picture. I don't need all the little filler parts in between. I just want to catch up.
That's what I loved about Naruto, is that it, like, within the first 20 seconds of an episode, it would give you a musical cue to let you know, hey, you don't need to pay attention to this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing about these 1990s anime is the
10 minutes of recap.
Yeah. The recap is you can watch the first 3 minutes of an episode and get the previous episode's recap.
Like 15 of them.
So as long as you're watching every other episode, you know what happened.
Yeah, you can just watch the recap, and that's the biggest shortcut ever. And I guess that's another big thing is when you're watching this stuff, yes, it's like a 23-ish minute episode without commercials, but the first 4 minutes is the intro scene, the intro song, and the recap. And the final 4 minutes is the ending song and what to expect next. And as long as you skip those, you're basically looking at about 18 minutes-ish of an episode.
That's 12 minutes of episode. If it's 23 minutes, 8 and 4 is 12 minutes. 18 minutes. 18 minutes an episode.
Yeah, that's what. So yeah, I mean, as long as you can cut out 17, 18 minutes solid anime watching. So you are skipping enough.
Okay.
As long as you get rid of the intro and the outro stuff.
I'll take your word for that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's
it's still a lot. It adds up.
Drunk math is never good math. So anyway, it's good enough to continue, but it still hasn't gotten to the really good parts yet.
Apparently, it's still interesting.
I do know that One Piece gets good. Like, I've seen a lot of really cool episodes that are just way later on, and it's just like, do I want to put the time in to get to know how they got there?
Right.
Nope.
That's kind of it.
more power to anybody who loves One Piece. Just going to be one of those shows where I'm just like, yeah, I won't know. And that's okay. Not everybody loves everything, so that's what I'm going to call this one.
Right, and much like Matt, who's listening to light novels on the computer, I can give Matt a little bit of information here and there, just like he gives me information about...
Probably a little too much, but that's okay.
Right, but Matt's listening to the light novel on
YouTube. The only one that I've been talking about that I'm going to continue to talk about is I'm listening to the light novel for Jobless Reincarnation. I made it through the first 7 volumes of the light novel, which, for anybody that really cares, that is all of season 1. I made it through season 1 of Jobless Reincarnation. Long story short, there is a lot of information that's left out. Some of it necessary, most of it not, as far as the story is concerned. The biggest difference is you find out about Sylphie like almost immediately, while the biggest difference is you find out about Sylphie while Rudy, Eris, and Ruijerd are on the Demon Continent still. So you're finding out about this way into like the first part of season 1. So
right, yeah, and season 1 they gave you like the slightest glimpse at the end of it, reminding you that there's still plenty of story.
So that's the biggest takeaway. The light novel themselves are fantastic. I'll put it that way. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about the light novels. So
you watching anything else, Alec?
Not really. Not right now. Just pretty much just Jujutsu, Attack on Titan, and Black Clover.
Okay, you're a little behind on Black Clover.
Yeah, that's about it right now. Just kind of your mainstream. Oh, and Demon Slayer. So just catching up on those, and then just pretty mainstream stuff, really.
Yep.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's good. It's keeping me entertained for good.
Yeah. There's never an ending to anime.
And I'd say that's really all we got for this episode of Anime Lounge Podcast. Please make sure to check out the Anime Show on Facebook and Instagram. Check out all the awesome anime content they have on there. Also, if you've made it this far, please subscribe to us on whatever platform you are listening to us. Make sure to check out our YouTube channel, Anime Lounge Short Flights, and have a good one, everyone.
Later, guys.
Have a good night.